evolution, without these systems, you would not require that to be able to be the most evolved, high-frequency being, sentient life. You would just naturally be it. You would be a reflection of that.
Mm-hmm.
So you wouldn't require the fire of refinement to see what you were really made out of. Clearly, at this stage, that's what's required, because the level of corruption is under the illusory technology of both Saturn and Jupiter, and also of Alcyon in the inverse. So the corruption here is under such extreme sophistication that it's the worst false light paradigm.
Well, Alcyone is apparently meant to also tear down that duality patriarchal model.
Oh, she's...
that's why she's called the Statue of Liberty, because she is the prime instrument. She's the spark. Yeah.
She is always has been the ruler and the author. That's what I said, like Jupiter and Saturn have been designated.
But that's also why it's a matrix.
Because it's the mother of creation. But I mean, in terms of the nature of corruption here, the disguise is like one of the worst like cons ever of false light. Like they have false light here, the demonic principalities, and the solar system, the planetary bodies, which are all working together for the most part in rebellion, have literally got going the worst false light hacking takeover ever. The most insipid that I've ever seen is here.
But do you think that this is like a fractal of like what the gods wanted to experience for themselves? Like they wanted to, in a way, experience the negative for themselves, and that we're just a micro expression of that playing out. Like it's their dream, like how it's often coded. It's like this is the dream of the lords, and that
they are living
it a dream because they're like, but that's the thing. It's like they wanted to experience that aspect, and that's why it's coded as a dream. It's like because it is within the inversion. It is within a holographic matrix.
But that's the prison, okay? That's the counterfeit prison. They're living these experiences through everyone here, trapped and prisoner of, quote, the consciousness that is theirs overlaid on your consciousness. So ultimately, yes, they're experiencing everything through us, okay? But no, it's not really to learn. For them, this is where they're trapped eternally. So the more they're just getting more sophisticated at the trap system because everybody here is breaking out in consciousness. So they have to constantly modify and make it even a more sophisticated counterfeit takeover.
So you're saying that our consciousness in its pure essence is not necessarily fractals of them in creation. So our essence was created from a higher consciousness, let's call the supreme creator.
Yes.
And then they somehow locked on to us and
imprisoned everyone here.
We were inserted into their fold.
They found a way to make this place enticing. Like, so many beings came here and they found a way to snare everyone, trap everyone once they were here. I mean, it was just, and it's been a trap system that has become more and more sophisticated, and this is where quantum computers are used, and the reinsertions and the reanimation, because reality and history is all reanimations. It's inserted. Pockets of population have been inserted and reanimated and then inserted. And then they give this mockery of a history as though it actually happened. But people are being reanimated and continually reinserted.
The film Labyrinth.
Mm-hmm.
And who do they have as the main star? David
David
Bowie.
Bowie.
Is Jupiter. It's Jupiter's Labyrinth.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Right. I haven't seen that movie.
And David and Goliath, that's an allegory. Goliath would have been more than likely Saturn. These interplays seem to be against, like with them battling one another. More BB codes, seeing as we're doing it. Benjamin Button is Jupiter. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, watch my last solo video. I break down the codes of these film titles. Bobby Boucher is the water boy, because when Jupiter gets ignited, it's going to bring in the age of Aquarius. It's the boy becoming a man, so he's becoming the sun, becoming new king. Big Ben is a symbol for Jupiter, so that's Ben again. Then you have Benny Blanco from the Bronx in Carlito's Way, where Carlito is playing Saturn. And a lot in these movies and in these video codes, if you guys actually take the time to go through our folders, you'll notice a lot of train symbology. And that's because when these planetary collisions occur, when these alignments occur, they are essentially, what that's coded as is that they're on a track. And that track is inevitable. They are on an electromagnetic track. They are on their course, and their courses cannot be averted. And I've said this over years, that this will not be averted.
Well,
They
we
are on
both
their
have
course.
said that this whole thing is not about changing time, because I spoke it from the beginning.
You've seen it, and the power line codes, because they are the power lines, stars and planets, and this is the Game of Thrones, where the kings change through the cycles, and the new king's the new sun, and they are making these codes more and more blatant and obvious the closer we get towards the end of the age. And that's why we have, I think got over 1,000 examples, copious amounts of data that I could write notes and notes and notes, and I don't even know where to begin sometimes.
The nature of the trap here in origin, because prior to Tiamat, there was Maldek, a massive system that was destroyed. The nature of the trap system here and how that happened, because they do use fear. That is how Saturn and Jupiter rule. It's through terror and fear. And when that system, Maldek, was destroyed, it was actually so that all the souls of Maldek were literally funneled here in that mass destruction, just like Tiamat. It's like literally a harnessing of all the souls. And then you get everybody in a location, trap it down in a square, in a box.
And along with all that associated fear and trauma of what's occurred in the past. And that's why we are so rigged into feeling fear, because we have been traumatized by our previous incarnations here and all the terror that we have been exposed to.
And the cycles of destruction. And just like they're sitting in a little room, hitting little buttons to cause certain catastrophes in certain locations, this great little architect and their technology and their quantum technology, they can just, okay, it's time. Let's do that.
Maneuver,
I do want to go into about the reanimation, insertion, reality system that has been going on and on. Okay, and how people are reanimated, and how like they can be literally like populations inserted into, an area, a time where they have the old Tartaria architecture, and then nobody remembers how or who built it or where it comes from, but they all think that it was just their predecessors. And so you've got all of these like anomalies worldwide, everywhere, right in front, but populations that just find themselves there, and There's no memory of any of
Mm.
how
Yeah,
they
Tin
got there,
Man
so to
in
speak.
Wizard of Oz is Jupiter,
Hmm.
and the metal assigned to Jupiter is tin in the whole metaphysical
Hmm.
uh, information researched. So yeah, the Tin Man
Hmm.
is coded to Jupiter, and that's very interesting. When you look at this, look, I've put all the codes in the folders. A lot of the coded films, for example, Klaatu,
Hmm.
how they've got him as the Iron
Hmm.
Man, the Metal Man.
Hmm.
He's Jupiter, and of course, he's the one that creates the destruction. So that's the code there. RoboCop, Jupiter. So, but again, I really hope people have taken the time, especially where they do have more people do have time now with these shutdowns and lockdowns. More people do have time to research, look into things. We've provided so many research leads, but we cannot do it all. You do need to take your own initiative. It has been designed that way. It's like the saying is that those who knock on the door, if you yearn for the truth, if you knock on the door, the answers will be given to you, what you need. Ask father and mother as well for positive guidance to lead you to the truth. As we always say, do not just take our word for anything.
No.
Please use your own discernment, use your own intuition, and yeah, go to our mother and father in heavens. Ask them for guidance as well, to show you the way and the path to the truth in good spirit. And really, we're here to overcome all the trials, the challenges in a positive measure, in good spirit, not to be doormats,
Hmm.
but to just do inherently what we know is right. And if something seems like tyrannical or against ethics, do not be afraid to say no, even if it seems that you might lose out, whether it's materially, whether it's fear of the heavens know all that situation. And trust me, they will, even if you are put through discomfort, they can reroute you, okay, and reward you for adhering
Although it's not based on
to what
reward.
is of the good spirit.
Yeah.
No, of course, but if you're choosing a virtuous path,
Yeah.
okay,
It's just because it's right.
ultimately good results in good,
Hmm.
ultimately. And I'm talking about even beyond the flesh,
Yeah.
okay, and the illusions of this world,
Yeah.
because it is in a way like a dreamland. So, and I know it feels real. The suffering feels real. The pain feels real. The loss feels real,
Yeah.
and it is meant to. Um, and it is scary at times, you know.
Hmm.
Um, but we're here to stand up for what we know inherently is right and just,
Hmm.
and to see through bullshit. We're here to see through the bullshit.
With
How do you win
everything.
the game if you don't?
Yeah.
And so much information is out there, and it's been placed there even by the elites. It's been placed there as a window of opportunity. We've had years of the internet. So for those that have that available, what is the excuse for ignorance? So anyway, we'll leave it on that note. Thanks for joining me on very short notice, Lada. This was a really good chat. Everyone, thank you. Thank you for giving us your time, which is probably one of the most precious resources here is time. Thank you for your time. And may we all go strength to strength, no matter how
And
hard
maybe.
we get pushed, you know.
And
And
may we support one another and network and be as close as we can possibly be in loving, caring goodness. And let us not forget the little ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely bring good mojo. So yeah, hold firm, guys,
Mm-hmm.
and we feel you, and thank you to all those as well who behind the scenes have been giving us positive intentions, putting out their intentions for our protection. and for our guidance as well as we do for you.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
yeah, it's very
Yeah.
important because it is, in a sense, like it is a literal war out there. It is a spiritual war that is taking place, and a lot of times it might seem invisible, because, like you say, you know, there's a lot that's working behind the scenes, and I'm so glad you guys were able to see the orbs. And I don't know if they turned up today. They were actually here when I was setting things up with the camera on. They were around, and thank you for being here. Thank you for your love and your presence, and everything you provide in positive measure.
Sending love to everyone, and a big embrace. We are the magic. Remember, we are
the electromagnetic.
Alchemy and the magic.
As long as you have an electromagnetic signature with the word magic being an electromagnetic, you are all magic. So it all depends how you want to apply your magic. And you can apply that positively or negatively in charge.
We are magic. Okay, so we're going to end with that note and grow that seed and tree of life.
Tree of good fruit.
Yeah. Tree of good fruit and magic fruit. All right. Sending love to everyone, and sending love to you too, George.
Thank you likewise. All right,
Good
till
night,
next time.
everyone. Till next time.